What up, what up, what up? It's your boy, Cardinal Red, and we back for some more of that Ali Land boxing talk, people. And today we talking Manny Pacquiao, the fall of top-ranked boxing. Alright, people, there's a lot going on around this subject right here. And, you got Manny on one side, you got Bob on the other, you got top-ranked swirling around in the middle. And it just seems like there's a rapid decline in growth at top-ranked boxing. There's a rapid decline in viewership. There's a rapid decline in interest all around in top-ranked fights. They've recently signed a deal with ESPN. And they had where they co-hosted the Manny Pacquiao-Lucas Matisse fight, which didn't turn out very well on Manny Pacquiao's accord when it comes to the money. He won the fight and the belt, but he had to deal with some shady goings-on, reportedly, allegedly, about the money he was supposed to receive from Bob Arum, some things surrounding Freddie Roach being paid, things surrounding fights that should have happened, not happening for whatever reason. And a lot of name calling now that Manny Pacquiao is back within the highest ranks of boxing. So let's try to cover as much of that as we can in a short period of time. Alright, as far as where should we start? Let's start with Manny Pacquiao leaving and my personal feelings on why he actually left top-ranked boxing. I would say it would be a combination of three things. And those three things would be matchmaking, money, and repetition. And I say repetition, I'm going to start with that one because the fights that they were pairing Pacquiao, and that kind of goes back with matchmaking, but the fights that they were pairing him up with and the names that they were pairing him up with were becoming really repetitive. And, Tim Bradley's a great fighter, a tough guy. And when he battled Ruslan Provodnikov, it was great for boxing. It was great television. It was a great fight, Not the most talented boxer ever, and not the biggest name in boxing, but amongst top rank, a highly favored boxer. And when you think about the fact that they made him fight Bradley 3 times, when the whole time you had Marquez out there, you had the Mayweather fight out there, you had a lot of up-and-comers that just Top Rank chose to, we'll say, overlook for now. And you got to ask yourself why. And the repetitive part is and the fact that they kept matching them up with guys like Bradley, Rios, who else did he fight? He fought somebody else twice over. Marquez so many times, Morales, Barrera a few times. They were never pairing him up with guys outside of the top-ranked banner. They were never making super fights, They were sellable pay-per-views, but they weren't super fights. And in a way, they kind of stagnated Pacquiao's career, if you ask me, because especially when you start doing things like allegedly fixing some of the fights, to where you're going to have a rematch. And I'm not saying he fixed the fights for Pacquiao to win, but let's just say that the outcomes were predetermined, kind of like wrestling is, for a specific reason. To sell a future event. Okay, so let's go back to money. And when you're doing stuff like that, when you're doing repetitive fights, you're doing it for one reason. You're doing it because you want the money to stay in-house. Smart business move. Shady in a way. And it's manipulative and controlling of guys who might feel that they could, compete with other people within their weight class, within the sport, that they can't fight because of politics, of promotional groups, just put it that way. Okay, so when it comes to the money that Pacquiao was receiving, big money for a long time, until the fight started becoming repetitive. And then the money, you saw the numbers start coming down. And then after the Mayweather fight, there was something that went on during that Mayweather fight surrounding the money that hasn't been a lot reported on. And, I'm not going to go real deep into that right now, but we'll get into that in another video. But after that, you saw the dollars. They ticked right. We were never seeing Pacquiao being paid such small amounts to fight. And that it goes back to Bob Arum, and allegedly, we're gonna get into that part too. Why I keep saying that, but it goes back to Big Bob and these in-house fights. And after the Mayweather fight, there were really no more in-house fights to make. And he had to start doing things to sell Pacquiao fights that he would normally have to do. Which goes kind of into the Jeff Horn fight. Even though Jeff Horn, I believe Jeff Horn had just signed to Top Rank when he got the Pacquiao fight. Which makes no sense. There were other guys at Top Rank who should have been matched up with Pacquiao, just off longevity of them being with the company. And then there were other fights still out there. So when you talk about repetition and money, there was some real shadiness going on. When you ask me about those repetitive fights and those in-house fights at Top Rank. They were really for a reason, if you ask me.